the Hoop Collective podcast. We talk about the NBA, and we are here on the court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse immediately after the Pacers' 116-107 Game 3 victory to take a 2-1 series lead. I am here with 2016 NBA champion Iman Shumpert. Shump, Pacers are up 2-1. They're 2 wins from their first ever NBA championship.
Well, we now know the gentleman's suite we once talked about might be out of the question.
What if it's the Pacers?
It might just be the other way. But
I don't see that, but yeah.
But I see this going 7 now. I think it got legs. I think it's great for basketball. I think the fans are going to have a lot more fun with it. Everybody was talking about how this was 2 small market teams. But I think this is what you want to see as far as a war. This is a chess match. This is adjustment, game in, game out. This is pressure on both the stars that are mentioned in this conversation between SGA and Tyrese Halliburton. And I feel like they're living up to the calling.
Yeah, look, let me just say right now, if anybody wants to talk about the ratings, and maybe that's your job, go ahead and do it. If you need to get your point off, go ahead and get your point off. If someone's talking about the ratings, they're not serious people. They're not serious basketball people.
Yeah.
Serious basketball people will talk about the quality of this game, which was excellent. This game had all of the markers that you need from Tyrese Halliburton to win. So we know that Halliburton, they're 32-4 or something like that when he scores over 20 points.
Yep.
They're now 9-1 in the playoffs when he scores. Actually, it's 8-1 in the playoffs when he scores over 20. He had 22 and 11 assists, and he averages 11 assists.
Right.
Here's our guy here.
Oh, bro. Love this.
We got the Netflix crowd. Tyrese is with his family right next to us.
Love it.
I don't know about those jeans, John.
Now he be calling it. I love it.
John, he called you out on national TV about those jeans. You did tell me. What he's telling me, well, for our viewers, they can't see because Tyrese and John are right off the screen here. But
love it.
He told me before the game. Don't count out, or don't bet against Tyrese Halliburton. That's what he told me before the game.
Yeah.
And Tyrese said afterwards that he was making fun of his dad's jeans, which I don't know. You're a fashion guy. What do you think of those jeans? Talked before the game, and he said, "Don't bet against my son." Which, what is he going to say? Bet against my son? But he's, he knew his son would play a much better game. And look, he may not have hit the shots that he hit 4 out of 8 threes, which is huge for him. But he went and he focused getting his feet back in the paint, and that was a major difference. He couldn't get in the freaking paint.
But it wasn't just that. They got stops.
Yeah.
They got stops.
You talk about that all the time. You're a defender first.
Because it's the reason why I didn't start off a defender. It's just I had so many guys on the team that needed the ball to be effective that I'm like, how do I still keep myself sane while having to deliver the ball in on a post-up? And my way of freedom was if I could just turn him and make him make a mistake, I can get out there and it's easy. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about getting somebody involved. I get to attack first. If I don't have anything, I can pull it out. I usually deliver the pass that leads to the bucket, but I feel like I'm a part of this game. I think that they figured that out, that we need to get stops. Nembhard took the challenge. We're not going to talk about it enough. We're going to talk about Tyrese Halliburton. We're going to talk about, Pascal Siakam getting out there and playing just a nice, balanced game.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about it much for Andrew Nembhard when he went out there and disrupted SGA.
He got SGA to elbow him 7 seconds
and that's what you need. Elbow me. Yeah, elbow me. Yeah, you pissed off? Good. You about to check out? Maybe I'll go get a rest too. But I'll be right back as soon as you get back in the game. I feel like having that aggression toward him and making him, even if it's for 1 or 2 plays where it's a pride drive it's not there. It's just pride. You just been bothering me the whole night and I got to get this off. Well, if he misses that, the pressure on that shot leads to a Tyrese Halliburton getting an easy lay-in. You saw the one run out that he had where he finished it on the side, leading to those buckets that you get to see his creativity, but it lets him throw that pizzazz into it. It lets him be that player that we're waiting for him to be, Magic at the end. He has to have those things throughout the game to feel that way. So I think Andrew Nembhard won't get talked about enough for it, but he dominated this game. 6 turnovers to SGA, that's a record for him in the playoffs. It's like you don't see this out of him.
Yeah,
I think that he was more
took 5 shots, but
without
he fought for 6 turnovers.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
TJ McCullough in there just making stuff happen, disrupting.
Yeah, we'll talk about the bench. Okay, before this game, you said you cracked me up. You said somebody needed. What did you say? You said somebody needed to be disgruntled. Disruptive.
Yeah. Dysfunctional.
Dysfunctional. That's what you said.
Yeah.
You said somebody's got to be dysfunctional.
Yeah.
I thought that was fascinating the way you put it. I want to talk about Ben Mathurin. Ben Mathurin had the best game of his life right here on this court.
But we talked about that. We talked about that. It's always one player for Indiana. I think Danny said it. There's always one guy for them that just comes along.
Danny Green, you mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like.
So their bench, just in general, their bench. So Mathurin has the game of his life. He goes 9 of 12. 27 points.
Is that the game of his life? Or is that just,
I'm sure he's
isolated because of the finals. I think he's been playing well.
That's what makes it the best game of his life. If you do it in the finals, it makes it the best game.
And it's the best stage.
I'm sure he had games in high school where he scored 45 points. It wasn't against the Thunder defense.
I don't want to take it away from, because there's so many weapons with Indiana that it leads to him getting those extra 4 shots. And it's like, if he got those extra 4 shots in any other game, it would have been the great game. So it's like, I don't want to make it seem like he was in his bag, because I really feel like he's one of those guys that sooner or later you got to make a decision.
Well, he's
not
a scorer.
On your ball club anymore.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Like, he's a dangerous product. When I look at him, the more and more I see him, I think today the drive that he had, he drove it and he sort of leaned into him.
Yeah.
And took somebody's legs away from him. They couldn't jump, but the way he stepped and did that, I was just like, wow, his knack for scoring.
He's a great scorer.
You know what I mean?
He's your 3rd leading scorer.
It's the knack for it is so efficient. It reminds me of playing when I played with Jordan McRae in Cleveland.
Another pure scorer. He was
there,
a 3rd stringer, but he was
but he'd get out there for 8 minutes and have 20 points.
That's right.
And it's like, it's the most efficient thing ever. It's just
known in Cleveland for chugging Jack Daniels during a Cleveland Indians World Series game in the suite. All right, that's a callback. That's a Cleveland reference.
Unbelievable year.
He also could score.
Scored the hell out the ball.
All right, so the Pacers bench.
Yes.
Mathurin, 12 shots, 27 points, plus 16. Remember, it was the Thunder bench with Wiggins and Caruso that dealt that huge damage in Game 2. So now, they had to sit around for 3 days and listen to it. And so Mathurin has game of the playoffs for him. TJ McConnell. Now, if I told you TJ McConnell was 3 of 8 shooting, he had 1 rebound, 2 turnovers, I would say, well, whatever. Shumpy had 5 steals.
5 assists.
And 5 assists.
5 assists. He just was, and it was in timely manners. It was every time you felt like maybe they got a little momentum. Shea's feeling good, and then it was like Shea would throw a pass across court, and they would shoot the gap every time. It was like, it just seemed like they watched a little bit more film on him. It just seemed like they knew his rhythm. They knew what he was looking for. They knew what he was trying to get to. Shea's going to look back on this one, and he's going to, it'll be hard. He'll have to grit his teeth a little bit about it. But the way Indiana communicated tonight, the way they played for each other, that's what we're used to seeing. I know it goes hand in hand with the home crowd. It's got to feel good to be in front of your fans, to get that confirmation that you did your job. You went out there, you stole one on their home floor. The pressure is on them, and now you just put an enormous amount of pressure on them to come out here Game 4 and put on a show, knowing that they can't get over the hump with you.
Yeah, right. So, like, big pressure now, unexpected pressure on OKC.
Without a doubt, just because you're still waiting on a good game. You still don't know what a good game from them looks like. There's always somebody that's off.
Chet, J-Dub, and Shea all scored over 20. Obviously was an off game for Shea. He only had 24. He had 6 turnovers. I thought J-Dub played. Jalen Williams played pretty well in this game.
Yeah, I just hated that he missed so many free throws.
Well, that didn't help. That didn't help on the way back.
Yeah, I think he should never.
So their bench got totally dominated in this game. But Lou Dort hit 4 threes. Chet, I thought, he didn't make many shots in the second half, but I thought he had an impactful game. Like, they didn't have a bad night. I know what you're saying. They didn't play great.
Yeah.
They didn't have a bad night. But you are right, sir. Like, they better freaking win on Friday. They go down 3-1. down home court advantage. That's big problems.
For the first time, I'm interested in the post-game interviews. Like, I want to see what was said. I do, because this is not a regular, like, it's not a regular series. It's not a regular game. Like, y'all all need this. You need it. Like, it's not it's got to be red alert. If I'm Jalen Williams, even down the stretch, I'm trying to find ways that I can get back to that free throw line and make this game feel a lot different, be able to coach guys in between, but knowing that they are the better team when there's a whistle, we're playing X's and O's. OKC is the better team in that regard, but if they continue to do this thing where, you miss a conversion of a breakaway, and now they're pushing it back, and now it's a back and forth. You're playing into their hands, especially when it's deep in the game. I don't know what it is about late in the game in Indiana putting together a better end game, but their end game is unbelievable.
At the end of
he is Peyton Manning in the 2-minute drill. This is crazy.
When they are in a close game, you just believe that they're going to get it done. You just believe they're going to get. By the way, they have not trailed in a series yet. They have not trailed. All right, they won first round 4-1. Mm-hmm. They won the second round 4-1. They won last round. They were up 2-0 on the Knicks.
No, they're gonna have to win this 4-3. I don't see that. There's no way you telling me.
You can win it 4-3 without trailing.
You can.
But I just want to say also, you talking about Nembhard, you talking about being unheralded. Miles Turner, 5 blocks in this game.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a big game for him, though.
You said he needed it. He didn't shoot the ball well, 3 of 11.
But it's not even that. I think it's the energy. It's he has a contagiousness to him. There's an integrity to the way that Miles Turner plays that is a direct effect of good basketball. Like, if you're playing the right way, that pocket pass is going to be available. If your guard is coming off hard, 2 dribbles off of a ball screen, that pocket pass is available for him. He could roll into the that short jumper at 16 to 18 feet, or he can extend it back and let a 3-pointer go. But he plays an honest game. He kind of plays his reads. I wish he would roll to the basket more and get into a more back to the basket game, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I think Pascal Siakam.
Well, Pascal played a back to the basket game tonight.
I love it.
They could not get into the paint. In the first 2 games, they could not get into the paint. Literally, they couldn't, forget about scoring the ball from the paint. They couldn't get their bodies into the paint with the ball. And so Halliburton really tried to get his feet in the paint tonight, even if he didn't always shoot in here. And Siakam came out of the gate looking to post Shea up, looking to get that established. And he had 21 points tonight.
It's got to feel like that. Every time he sees Shea, it's got to be walk him down, find his chest, hit, turn, open up, and it's got to be like, throw me that ball. Worst come worst, he reached for it. I go 2 hands, chase the ball, and get a foul on him. But he is not allowed to play behind me tonight.
Also, I'm going to say this. The Pacers scored 66 points in the second half of Game 1, shot over 50%. They scored 66 points in the second half of Game 2, shot over 50%. This game, they score 116. Their magic number is 111. They're 14-0 now in the playoffs when they get 111 or more. They're 0-5 when they don't. They shoot 51% and score 116 points. They are getting points against this defense. They're like it's they can't assume it, but they're having success. They are touching up. They were marking up this defense more than anyone has yet this postseason. And it's now been 3 games where I would say they've had 3.5 very good halves of offensive basketball.
I love the way they're putting it together. If I'm OKC, like, it's wild because when OKC does this, they always have that unsung hero, right? But what's wild is they, like, Neesmith didn't even start clicking. Like, it's there's always so much room for Indiana to play better that it bothers me. I'm like, when they handle their business, and then I look at it and say, this guy didn't even really He never really could get it going, but he still played well within the team. But it's like, what happens when all of them are turned up? Like, who can stop them? Like, what happens when they're not playing within 2-3 possessions with you all the way until 3 minutes? Like, what happens if they just start clicking and you're down 15? Like, can anybody come back from 15 when they're clicking? That's what scares me about them. I've seen OKC when they're clicking, and I can see, like, all right, you can't play with them if they're on all cylinders.
That's
you
right.
got to take something away.
That's right.
Like, you cannot play with them. I would like to see the heavyweight punch back and forth just to see what'll happen if both teams are clicking. But with both of these defenses, you're just seeing them take somebody away, take this away, take that away, and then you have a guy have to come off the bench and do his job. But for Indiana right now, they are doing the job that they need to do. Like, that is unbelievable. I didn't, and before the game, I didn't talk about him at all. I don't think any of us did. Benedict Mathurin, like, I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know we needed to do this before the game. I apologize, but in the post game, you're gonna get your flowers, young man.
Well, he was one of the top scoring 6-man in the league. He's probably a starter on a lot of teams.
I'm just saying, I haven't spoke on you a lot, and I apologize. I stand
You're unfamiliar
corrected.
with his game.
Oh no, I'm familiar. That's the thing. It's so much other. That's the thing that scares me about this team. Like, Obi had a great game. It wasn't that I don't like Mathurin. I love him. I love how you playing. Young guy come out here playing, one of the only Canadians doing. I get it.
Listen, man, there's this Canadian thing going on here.
It's a thing.
So Nembhard and Shea have known each other their whole lives since they were kids, because they're both from Ontario.
So this has been a thing.
Well, I didn't understand that they had a little, like, they were on the Canadian national team together. They played together in Ontario growing up. There's definitely an edge here. Like,
There's
like I assume there were guys you grew up from Chicago.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who maybe you were friendly with, but you had a thing.
Oh yeah,
with.
you just know their game. Like, you've had to see them before.
The same thing with Lou Dort and Ben Mathurin. They're both from Montreal. And Montreal and Ontario are literally totally different places.
Wow.
They speak French in Montreal. It's like almost like a different country. So it's one thing to be Canadian. Like, Kelly Olynyk is from Kamloops, British Columbia.
But
like,
when both guys are from
they're
opposite
both
teams and in the same sound.
But they're both from the same area.
Yeah.
So again, it'd be one thing if one guy's from Montreal, one guy's from Ontario, but they're both from the same area. And Mathurin and Dort, like, they're talking. They might be talking trash in Creole. They speak Creole. Yeah, they speak French, they speak English, but they speak Haitian Creole.
Hey, mic them up.
Can you imagine, like, what some
Mic
of the
'em
stuff
up.
they would speak in? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a weird little thing that's going on in this.
Has the
series.
NBA done that? Have we released footage in another language yet? Have we done that yet?
I don't know, but you know what? Tyrese is wearing the mic 3 games in a row. Normally, the star player, you got to wear the mic at least once. Like, LeBron would always wear the mic in the first game, and that's it. He doesn't want to be mic'd up. Halliburton wants the mic. He wants to have. He's very aware.
He wants that moment.
He's got the Netflix cameras around him right now.
Yeah.
He's, who knows what his fashion is, what he's got saved for game 4, 5, 6.
You know what's wild though? And I'll tell y'all all this about being mic'd up. You're not gonna remember you're mic'd up once the warm-ups is done.
I think he knows. Maybe you wouldn't remember because you
He
were.
wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. It's too much to think about. It's too much. It's so much to think about in a game. Maybe you'll probably have 1 or 2, 3 times you'll be conscious of it. If you fall down and hit your back on the little battery pack or whatever. From the mic.
Is there a battery pack like on your waist?
Yeah, you gotta wear it on the compression. Well, I don't know. They got all this new technology. Y'all probably got a little baby tack you can put on the ear or something
Like
by
Mission
now.
Impossible.
Yeah, I don't know what gadgets and gadgets y'all got, but we had the little battery pack, soft pack that you used to have. But if you got knocked down onto the cameras, like, yeah, you're gonna feel it. But yeah, I don't think that you could be conscious of it right now. I think he is playing so free. I was happy that they were able to get stops, that he was able to get rebounds. What do you have, 8 defensive rebounds? I know it like the back of my hand. He is one of those guys that in a game that we played them, that would be my main thing. Every defensive rebound he gets, he's going to have to see my face. You're not allowed to take that rebound and just turn it into momentum. You're going to take that and you're going to check around to make sure I'm not there. But I'm not even going to the board. I'm attached to you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I see that there's a direct correlation between him getting a rebound and pushing the ball. Like, him pushing that tempo is scary to me. When we talk about things that scare me,
Yeah.
that scares me. I wouldn't like that. And things that scare me, I'm not willing to go do it. I don't get scared of the roller coaster and then be the first one on the roller coaster. No, I'm not going to we might not go to the amusement park. But Tyrese Halliburton getting a rebound and turning into a run out, no thank you. I've seen it. It's good. It's a great movie. You're not watching it no more.
Yeah.
You're not watching it. I'm breaking the DVD player. It's over.
So, also, I thought the Pacers worked their backside off to apply full court pressure. They just they came up. They worked so hard.
Again, Andrew Nembhard.
They're not even allowing a free inbound after a made basket.
You want to know what else is a direct result of that? Nembhard, 5 fouls.
Yeah.
Use them. You can't take them all.
Neesmith had 6.
Can't take them home. Use them all. Use them all. Because if you can get SGA like that, and I don't mean they did something where it's like you shut him down. No, you didn't shut him down. You pissed him off. There is no shutting down SGA.
That's right.
There is no shutting. Don't go into the game. I'm not trying to shut him down. You're so good. Let's clap it up for you. I'm going to disrupt you. I'm going to piss you off. I want you to push me off. Any extra little thing I can get you to do, let's do it. But you're going to win a different way. It's not going to be cool, calm, collected. I want your face to change. His facial expression never changes.
That's right. He prides himself on that.
I want to see his angry eyes.
It's happened a few times with Nembhard in this series.
I don't ever see him adjust his headband. You watch Caruso adjust his headband all game. SGA, never see his headband always calm.
It must be a hell of a headband because not a bead of sweat gets down on that face. It must be the greatest headband ever designed.
I think that's an ode to, I was talking to Coach Cal, that's an ode to his conditioning. They say that he's in unbelievable shape.
Yeah.
And he prides himself on it, which is
Cal
why.
had him at Kentucky.
Without a doubt, which is why he's, one of those guys that looks for the end of the game to do some of his best work. But knowing that.
Having said that, I thought the Thunder got a little tired at the end of this game.
Yeah. We're late. We are late in the season. Whew. We are late. It is late at night. The games is later. The TV timeouts is longer. People don't realize that. Just for y'all to be entertained at home. I know. It's a great special on the finals. All of it is cute. Now you sitting on the bench for way longer. Like that sweat that was going, that used to go in game 2, that sweat be gone. Like you could get cold waiting on a timeout.
Yeah.
But it's just a different thing. The pressure's different. The presentation's different. The crowd is different. The crowd not gonna get tired. Your body gonna know it's tired. You gonna say, man, it's getting late. The crowd is not tired. They drunk. It's time. They want to play. They want a war. They want to see you win. Like I love the energy tonight. I told you I've been in this field house.
You played dozens of finals.
Oh
games.
Man, but it's I don't know. I've always appreciated gyms where the fans hate you. Like we are allowed to hate each other for 48 minutes. Let's get it on, because they love you when you come back. Seeing me in the suit, I promise I haven't nobody threw their drink at me, nothing. And this is one of the most vicious crowds I've ever dealt with. But they respectful, love basketball, and they are eating this up right now because this is unbelievable to watch.
Friday's going to be something.
Oh, man. Be there, be square. Get your popcorn ready.
Friday's going to be something. The Thunder are going to be tested like none of these guys have been tested before. I will say this. They were down 2-1 to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
They faced a Game 7 against Denver. They haven't done it in the finals before, but they were heavy favorites, and they're going to listen for the next 2 days to hear about how they're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how they come back on Friday.
I would love to see the even keel.
Because if they win on Friday, they got home court back.
Mm-hmm.
3-game series, they got home court. It's not so bad. But this felt like 2-2 to me all along. I just felt this would be 2-2. I don't know where I'll feel about on Friday, but I feel like this felt like 2-2 to me when we came here. That's what it might be.
You know what's wild? I think that if the Thunder win this, it's going to be a 3-1 situation. Even to win it. I think it's a 3-1 situation. They really look like they need to figure it out before they.
I sort of feel like this is one of those situations where the winner of Game 4 wins the series.
Instead of this?
Yeah. I know. But I feel like, look, Indiana hadn't lost 2 games in a row in 3 months.
Granted, the Thunder are like that too, though.
The Thunder are 17-2 off losses this year. So they don't lose 2 in a row either. They've only lost 2 in a row twice.
That's what I'm saying. This is not a... So you feel like it's just we're gonna play tennis for a little bit?
I just think whoever wins Game 4, I'm not ready to declare that, but I feel like whoever wins Game 4 is going to be a
What's
champ.
your adjustment for OKC that makes them realize they can get over this hump?
I don't know if there's an adjustment because they pretty much play the same way all the time, but their bench is the bench war is big. The bench war is big. Their bench got crushed in this game.
Yeah, they got cooked.
That Caruso's minus 15.
They got cooked, and that's irregular. That jumps out. Yeah. I didn't even look at that. That's crazy.
Caruso got, and it wasn't just about him, but
but it's like it's one of those things that if a guy like that can have a minus 15, it's just tough to win tonight.
Clearly.
Because he's a guy that plays good with principle. He doesn't take away from anybody. Everything he does is trying to be positive and an add-on to the team. It's nothing that you got to draw up and force. You know what I mean? So seeing an indication of a guy like that having minus 15, you don't like to see it. Case and Wallace being a minus 10 is a direct indication of whatever the starter's doing, so it doesn't bother you as much. But
well, Shump, I really enjoy listening to hear you talk about these games.
Man,
you're emotionally invested.
And you know what?
I
try not to be, but especially when it seems like guys are like right there. They're like right there. It's like I just look at it from a perspective of if I was against them, how would we game plan for them? I'm usually the guy that has to guard the best player. So it's like if I could think of how we would come at it, it's like that's usually just the adjustment they need to make. If they can make sure nobody takes that from them, that's usually their best attribute. Like if I'm looking at it, Andrew Nembhard, you have to play like that. Like that's textbook for that's called taking the head out the snake. Yeah, you're just not gonna play tonight. I'm sorry. I'm about to pester you. It's not fair. I am fouling you sometimes. Don't care. I'm not going to flop with you. If you're going to sell it,
Listen,
go ahead.
The Thunder play very, very physical, and they bang everybody. So when Shea gets banged around, they have to accept that that's the way it's going to be.
Without a doubt. And I like the way Shea played because he didn't go start flopping and begging for fouls.
Actually, it was a well-officiated game.
He sold probably 2 calls.
It happens. Yeah, but it's not as bad as I've seen.
Oh, I love that nobody's talking about that no more because that was going to piss me off before the series.
He only had 6 free throws.
He has not shot a lot of free throws this whole series.
He had 12 in Game 2, but tonight below his average.
That's what I'm saying. Having 12 free throws for the MVP one game.
He led the league this year, yeah. All right, we got to go. Thank you, Shump. Thank you to Rafa and Jackson, our producers. Thank you for watching and listening to the Hoop Collective.
Keep the cameras rolling.
We'll be back on Friday.